Come on, come on, come on. Robot. Robot. All right, so here we go, guys and girls. All right, stop. So now, so these are vertebrae, right? These are the bones of your spine, right? That make up your back. Okay, and so you actually may have some that are different. They're different parts. Okay, so we're gonna go through these really quick. All right, and this is what we're gonna do. Okay, right now you're looking at one from the I don't have my glasses. Low battery. Okay, so anyways, someone has their phone out because I already got a like. Okay, so anyways, this is going to be basically a thoracic vertebrae. This is going to be in the mid-back, all right? In fact, it's going to be almost like right down about the bottom of your shoulder blades, this one right here, okay? Shh. All right, so do you guys see this right here? Thoracic is mid-back. Yeah, thoracic is mid-back. By the way, write this down. Thoracic's mid-back, you have 12 of them. It's in your thoracic spine, right? Do you guys remember we call it thoracic spine? Do you remember we were talking about the thoracic nerves and we call them the nerves. We had T1, T2. Do you guys remember that? We were talking about where the spinal nerves come out and stuff. All right. That you have 12 thoracic vertebrae. Yeah. All right. You have 12 thoracic vertebrae. Are we good? Are we good in the hood? All right. So that's it right there. That's your thoracic vertebrae. And actually, they say it on there. I don't know if you guys see it. That says T8. That's how I knew where it was at the base at the bottom of your shoulder blades right there, okay? I'm not going to ask you to identify where it is because, to be honest with you, I can tell thoracic from a cervical, from a lumbar, but I couldn't tell you T8 from T7 and T9, okay? But anyways, you guys see it? I'm going to turn on its side. You see that? Yes. All right, if I go like that, hold on, and let me pick it up real quick. If I go like that, you guys see that? This right here, I have a lag now. It was going faster earlier. This right here is, I got to wait for the screen to catch up. This is the body. This is the front part of the vertebrae. Right here, that's the body. It's the front part of the vertebrae. Okay? That's the body right there. So if I go like this, if I look at this, this is my cervical spine. You can see this is the body right here in the cervical spine. This is your neck. See that? That's your cervical spine. Look at that. The other one dancing there for me. Pretty cool. All right. And then if you notice, so that's the neck right there. And this is the body. This is looking at it from the top. So you can see the size difference. See that? The size difference between the thoracic, between the thoracic and the cervical spine. See the size difference? Okay. Then if we push this aside, I bring this bad boy on there. See that one? You guys see that? Yeah. Okay. This is your lumbar spine. This is your low back. What's that? That's your cervical spine. That's your cervical spine right there. But all I'm doing right now, I'm just comparing the bodies of these. Your lumbar spine's in your low back. Okay, but I'm just comparing the bodies of these, and your lumbar spine's in your low back. Okay? All right. You have 5 lumbar spine. Okay? You have 5 lumbar spine. The cervical is the neck, and you have 7 of those. And actually, remember I said before, if you feel the back, you can actually feel one of them sticking out at the bottom of your neck. All right? Can I go on? Yes. All right. So now I'm going to move these off to the side, and we're just going to concentrate on this thoracic one, okay? You guys good? In the hood?
Dr. Elder,
Yeah.
for your chiropractic, what are you doing to these?
I'll go into that later.
The thoracic one is T5.
I don't know what one you have. The thoracics just start with T. Yeah. Does it say the number on it?
T5.
Yes, that's T5. So that's going to be a little bit up from your shoulder blades. All right. So, shh. So now, do you guys notice there's a hole right here? All right. That's called your, what, by the way, what do we call a hole? Foramen. So this is going to be your vertebral foramen. Okay. Shh. Vertebral foramen. Okay. That's your vertebral foramen. Your spinal cord is in there.
What is it called?
Vertebral foramen. Yes. So it's a vertebral foramen. All right? By the way, I only have this thermometer there just to level this out a little bit. Okay, can I go on? In fact, let me turn this over and boom. Okay? So now, if I look, oh, by the way, one thing I want to kind of point out, and I hear this from students, if you look at the cervical spine, over the years, I've had students who say that this is the neck, that it looks like a fox.
I see it.
Okay, you guys see that?
Oh, yeah.
It looks like a fox. And then I've had people say that the thoracic spine, shh. And, well, I've had people say it looks like a giraffe. All right? And then I've had people say the lumbar spine looks like a moose. Me. All right? Well, mooses don't move. Okay? So now. So now, if we look, you'll see, if I go like this, oh wait, before I get there, let's go back over here. Before I get there, that's a cervical one. I want to use the thoracic. So right here, do you guys see this portion right here? That's called your pedicle. Okay, the pedicle. Is that on your paper? P-E-D-I-C-L-E, pedicle. P-E-D-I-C-L-E is this part right here. That's the pedicle. This is they're all going to have, everything's going to be the same on all these. That's why I'm doing all three of these at the same time. Okay, that's the pedicle right there. So you see, the pedicle connects the body to the back. So it's going to connect the back, this is the back, to the body. So you guys see that? It connects the back of the vertebrae. So this is the back of the vertebrae over here. It's going to connect it to the body. Your pedicle does that. Are we good? Yeah, it'd be right there. So, do you guys see it on the thoracic one? Now, I'm going to switch this out real quick, and if I look at my cervical spine, it'd be this area right here. All right?
The package just went away right when you.
What's that?
That's loading, guys. Right when you looked at it, it stopped loading.
I did? Okay. Yeah, it'd be right there. You guys see that? Okay. And then there's the vertebral foramen.
What's the smaller ones?
There's the vertebral foramen for my cervical spine. Okay. These right here, I'll get to those. Those are transverse processes, right? I'm sorry, transverse foramen, but we're not there yet. Okay, that's transverse foramen right there. We'll come back to that in a minute. What?
Where is it on this pedicle?
Okay, so if we look at the pedicle, if I go back to this one, give me just a second to get caught up on the screen. Do you see this area that's right here? Hold on. Right there, that's this whole area right in here is the pedicle. And you have one on each side. Right? So that's going to be your pedicle. Huh? It looks like a smiley face? Yeah. It looks like a ghost or something, huh? All right. Can I go on? And then really quick, if we look on the lumbar, it's going to be like, so really quick, if we look on the lumbar, it's going to be this area right around in here. Okay? The pedicle is going to be right out around in there. Okay? And over in here. Remember, you have a pedicle on each side, so you can form the foramen, the vertebral foramen. And then this is the vertebral foramen in the lumbar spine.
Just saying you have 12 minutes.
Okay. Are we good?
What about the sacrum and the?
Hold on, we're doing vertebrae. I already went over the sacrum, right?
No, but that's in the vertebral column.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but we already went over the sacrum. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, shh. Listen. Do you see the ears of my giraffe right here?
Yes.
These are going to be called. Okay, see the ears of the giraffe? Those are my articular facets, superior articular facets. All right, that's my superior articular facets. You got one on each side.
Articular what?
Superior articular facets. You have one on each side.
Superior articular.
Facet. Facet is spelled with the word face with a T at the end. All right? So if I have superior articular facets, I must have
The smaller horns.
inferior articular facets. See how smooth that area looks? Do you guys see how smooth that area looks? All right? So that's my inferior articular facets. And I have one on each side.
The superior is the one that's sticking out on the side.
The superior is the one that's sticking straight up. This is actually called the superior articular process. Hold on. Let me get to when it turns over. Okay. This is my superior articular process, and this is the facet. Superior articular facet. Hold on. I'll get there. There's a big lag now. It wasn't like this earlier. So there's my superior articular facet. And then I turn it over. Give me the second. And that's inferior articular facets.
Okay, so it's like coming back.
Yes. It's facing back. It's facing frontward. The body's in the front.
Okay.
Yeah. So can I see those right there? Those two that you have connected together? No, actually, I don't want those. Let's go with these ones right here. That's that right there. All right. So if I look, guys and girls, all right. If we look, I am going to go like this. All right. And I'm going to put these together. Hold on. It'll come up in just a minute. And if you notice, actually, if I hold these a little bit differently, we actually have a little opening, right? If you notice, we're going to have a little opening, right? Let me move it just a little bit. We have a little opening right there. You guys see that?
How do you do that?
That's called the intervertebral foramen. Your spinal nerves come out from there. Okay? Your spinal nerves come out from there. Now, are you guys listening? Yes. If you didn't hear what I said, it's written on the board right behind me. Okay? So your superior articular facets of the vertebrae below, the The superior articular facets of the vertebrae below articulate with the inferior articular facets of the vertebrae above. Okay? And it's going to form the intervertebral foramen It's going to form the intervertebral foramen, and that's where your spinal nerves come out. If you guys remember earlier in the year when we were talking about spinal nerves, we talked about T1, T2, and all that. You remember we went C1 through C8, and then we went T1 all the way down. So this is where they're going to come out.
Wait, can you repeat what you said?
It's written on the board behind me. See it? And so this is my intervertebral foramen right here. How much more time do I have?
We got 7.
7 minutes? Okay. Huh? So my So just to talk about what's on the board, my superior articular facets articulate with the inferior articular facets of the vertebrae above to form the intervertebral foramen. Okay? And that's the way your nerves come in. So you can see the whole thing is designed to protect you. And that's going to go the whole way down. I want to go through 2 more things real quick, okay? If you guys look, this is looking at the back of the vertebrae. Okay, this is looking at the back of the vertebrae. These here are going to be called the lamina. That's the lamina on that side and that side. They're going to come together and form the spinous process. That's the spinous process right there. That's the part, if you ever see bumps sticking out of somebody's back, that's what you're looking at as spinous processes. Are we good? And then, if we look like this, what are you guessing on?
Lamina.
Okay, and I'll come around. This is just to give you a general idea. Do you guys see what I'm touching right here? Okay, that's called your transverse processes. They stick out to the side. They stick out to the side. Those are transverse processes. Okay, there's my transverse processes that I'm holding. Does that make sense? You can see on the lumbar vertebrae.
Okay, so lamina forms spine.
On the lumbar vertebrae, those are transverse processes. And then if I go to cervical vertebrae, I'll show you in just a second. Okay, if I go to the cervical vertebrae, my buffering's going bad. If I go to cervical vertebrae, this, you guys see the hole that's, well, hold on. So that hole right there is my transverse foramen, and this would be my transverse process. That's the transverse process, transverse foramen. And in the transverse foramen, your vertebral artery comes through it going up to your head. Okay, so this is the transverse foramen, this whole area in here, and then, transverse process. And then the hole is the transverse foramen and your vertebral arteries in it. And really quick, going back, because you can see it better here. These areas right here are the lamina again. Okay, right there would be the lamina. And over on the other side, there's the lamina again. Okay, so the lamina come together to make your spinous process. I always tell people, if this is my body, my biceps would be the pedicle, my forearms would be the lamina, and my hands would be the spinous process, and this would be my vertebral foramen. Does that make sense? that make sense? All right, so